All right, joining us now is Harry Houck, CNN Law Enforcement Analyst, former NYPD Detective First Grade, and president of HouckConsulting.com. Harry, great to talk to you, sir. What do you make of Hillary's reactions here?
Yes, all she's doing is pandering to the false narrative out there. She doesn't care about the truth. This is a disgusting display of alleged leadership that's supposed to be, that for somebody who is running our country, who wants to run our country, this is terrible. This is all part of the war on the police that I always talk about. The fact is that not only those out there with a false narrative are that don't believe in the truth. Here, listen, we got Charlotte here, where a police officer clearly shot somebody who was in possession of a weapon, was told to drop their weapon, and the police officer shot and killed somebody. Now, what happens is we have peaceful protesters that show up after the shooting. Then what happens? Then the thugs show up. The thugs show up and they start rioting. I mean, instantly there's a false narrative out there regarding this guy sitting in a car reading a book. How do I know if that guy wasn't sitting there with a gun, all right, and looking to shoot somebody? This might have been a potential killing in the making that police might have stopped. I don't know that for sure, but I know one thing. That guy had a gun. He was in a car. He was told to drop the gun. He dropped the gun, and he was shot. And that police officer, if that narrative is true coming from the police department, and I believe it,
right?
All right, no book was found, all right, and therefore it's a good shooting. That
one, I'll chalk up with you. I'm with you on that. Help me decipher the other one in Tulsa, if we could run some B-roll, when this female cop wound up shooting this man. I don't know that his hands were up when he was shot. I think they were down at that point when he was peering in the window, or maybe perceived by the officer to be reaching in the window of the car after he repeatedly disobeyed the officer's instructions. Take us through your scenario.
All right, Steve, I looked at this video several times. Both videos from the police officer's perspective of the car and also from the helicopter there. It was very clear to me that his hands were not up when he was shot. Now, we can't hear what the police officers are saying. All right, at the time they was shot, there was a little bit of a block there, but his hands were clearly down, and he was leaning towards the vehicle, towards the window. Now, as a police officer, if you're telling somebody to put their hands up and they're not following you and complying, and the police officer has to think, what's this guy up to? Is he trying to reach for a weapon to the point where, see how long it takes me for him to take him down? Now, if that is all true, and if the police officer's statement is true, this again might look like a good shooting. You do not have to have a gun in your hand or shoot at a police officer or point a gun at a police officer to be shot. A police officer must feel that his life is in danger.
There was also a cop with the female officer said that if he hadn't shot, if he didn't have a taser in his hand, he would have shot also. But also, I heard a report this morning that there were PCPs of some kind found in the car. They don't know if there was any in his system. Does that influence an investigation as far as whether or not this was legitimate or not?
Well, if it turns out there is PCP in his body when they do the toxicology reports on this, I can tell you from the 80s when I was a cop on patrol, people who are on PCP don't listen. They're very violent. All right, although we didn't see any violence in this in the video itself, but PCP, you don't listen to people, and it takes about 8 or 9 cops to take somebody down and handcuff them. So we'll have to wait and see. So I don't know if that's been confirmed yet, though.
No, nothing in his body. This I heard that they found it in the car. So I don't know to what. And that was one report that I heard this morning on the radio driving in. Hey, Harry, always great to talk to you, my friend. Thank you so much.
You too, buddy.
All right, Harry Houck, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Steve Malzberg Show. Now, when we come back, we're going to turn political with our political panel, and it's going to be a good one. There's lots to talk about today, as you might imagine. There always is, as we head towards debate number 1 next week. David Goodfriend and Jim Houck. Don't miss it.